Welcome everybody back to another episode of Brunch with the Fellas. I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with me Primo Grande, the one and only Cold Seasons. How you feeling, Cole?
Feeling good, man. It's not too cold. It was cold as hell these last two episodes, man. But it done warmed up a little bit, man. It's getting a little bit into the warm season. Can't wait for it to come. You know how it go.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Yep. So check it out. We got some real good topics for y'all tonight. Before we get into tonight's show, make sure to like and share this video. Also, smash that uh subscribe button and hit the notification bell so when we go live you never miss an episode of Brunch with the Fellas. Also, y'all, we got going on right now, we got the post your DB Chef TV, the merch contest to win $1,000 cash. Head on over to the DB Chef TV gift shop and check out what we got, y'all. We got some new items over there, some stuff you might like. And then head on over to your social media, Facebook, IG, Twitter, tag, post it, tell people, help me win $1,000 just by liking and sharing the video. It's that simple. You buy your merch, you post your merch, you tell your friends and family, followers, whoever you got, to just share it, and that's who's gonna win that Stizak. So we
That's right.
appreciate y'all for going to go do that.
And
And
that time is running down on that Stizak too.
it is March 10. That's when it ends. So good luck to anybody. And we appreciate all the love, everybody who wants to participate, and everybody who wish they could, but they ain't. It don't matter. We still rocking with you. And then don't forget to go and pick up your copy of 10/16/160 Self-Sustainability by Ali Dawood L at www.bksoulfarm.com. If you don't got it, you need to get it. And man, if you can't, like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. We got something you could do for free, and that's just smash the like. And we're gonna love you anyway. So we appreciate all that. And let's go ahead and get into tonight's topics.
Let's do it.
So first we gonna head on down to Jayville and Jacksonville, Florida, for y'all that don't know, and pay some respect to a rapper, LiL Poppa, man. It's so crazy because his song, he been out for a while, and his song Out of Town Bay, like I was really feeling that. I was like, that's a nice little joint. In comparison it to all the other type of music that was coming out of Jayville with his peers, because they got the Julio Fulios, the what's the other brother name with the ATK and all that.
Yeah, Jacksonville got a whole lot going on. I mean, Florida altogether have a whole like hip hop movement that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Texas almost, but yeah.
Damn, I don't want to be rude, but I just can't call your name, bro. But he be jamming too, though, man. You know what I'm saying? And then also rest in peace to Julio Fulio, because he is no longer with us either, man. But yeah, so we're gonna go and check out that, pay some respects to LiL Poppa, man. And y'all go check out his Out of Town Bay. You know what I'm saying? He got that distant lover. She right Out of Town Bay. So anything that remixed the old school, something like that, I love it. Then we're gonna check out the Supreme Court ends the Trump tariffs, y'all. So if y'all been paying attention to what's been going on with Trump and these tariffs, I know we've been feeling it all, at the grocery stores and anything that you basically consuming, because when the prices go up on those things, when the tariffs get implemented, we get that. It's just a normal process. The consumer gets that. Us people going to go buy stuff. All right. So who knows what that's going to do for our pockets? Hopefully, it's something good in the coming months or whatever by this. Then we're gonna head to Washington D.C. And we're gonna check out some Black excellence at Johns Hopkins University. I think that's where Johns Hopkins at, DC, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna check out that because it's Black History Month. You know, I know people don't be feeling good to be black no more, y'all. But you gotta, when you wake up in the morning, man, some one thing you can't change. You got another day, and you still the same complexion. You know, so you got to be thankful for that first, foremost. You know, so we got to be proud to be black again, and we're gonna go check out some of that Black excellence, and then we're gonna make a hop across the pond and check out former Prince Andrew, who was arrested in relation to some of these Epstein files, and I guess his conduct while he was while he was formerly a prince, while he was on his princely duties or some shit.
Right. And a quick correction, John Hopkins is in Baltimore.
And be more. Okay.
Yeah.
It's in the area.
Yeah.
All right. So John Hopkins right up.
I think a lot of people confuse John Hopkins with Walter Reed.
Well, Walter Reed. That's right. And I did that. That's what happened. So we're gonna hit B More. Yep. Shout out to B More. And we're gonna go up there and check that out too. So
music fans across the U.S. are mourning the loss of a Jacksonville rapper. That's our top story tonight. Thank you for staying up with us. I'm Anthony Austin.
I'm Heather Crawford. LiL Poppa, born Janarius Wheeler, has died at the age of 25. The medical examiner's office in Fulton County, Georgia, confirming his death to us. The Jacksonville native built a loyal fan base. Christina Burgess has been speaking with those who grew up with him. And Christina, they tell you that his legacy will live on.
Heather and Anthony, LiL Poppa was more than just a rapper. He was a hometown dream turned reality. At just 25 years old, he built a powerful voice for himself in the music industry. Now, as friends, family, and fans try to process his sudden loss, those who grew up beside him say that he was bigger than just music.
He was just a great guy. Outside of the music and the artistry, man, he was a good human. And I'll never forget him.
Jacksonville native and music producer Scotty OTH says he grew up.
I'm gonna pause that right there. You know, it's rare you hear people say that, and I always say that. That like I don't care who you screwing, you know, I don't care your gender, your ethnicity, you know, are you a good human being? You know, and I think a lot of times, like nowadays, people don't, because we get caught up on the you know, in the well, because it's culture in America where everybody got to check a box, and then you have to have you have to either pick this side or that side. You know, like people don't want to pick the right. People don't want to tell people to do the right thing. You know, they want to pick a side that make them feel comfortable, whether it's wrong, you know, or when they're in the right.
Right.
So, you know, I think that being a good human, like that's a thing where it's just not practiced. Like people, you know, like people don't try to be better, try to self-improve. And I think that that's something that's rare when you hear that, when you hear somebody say, you know what, man, he was a good human. You know, that puts it in scope of a moral of some principles, some character about yourself. You know, where you just not, you know, where it's just not everything is a self-centered or selfish type of attitude, you know.
Right.
So I'm shout out to LiL Poppa, man. You know, it's crazy. 25 years old, a baby boy, man, gone.
Yeah. Definitely haven't even really cracked into life yet, you know, and was on the road doing his thing.
For sure.
With rapper LiL Poppa, and the two shared big dreams.
I was making beats, then he was making music. And 2019, 18, we ended up making, you know, our first track together. Outside is deeper than music. That was family to me. We called each other cousins.
Scotty says his grind was unmatched.
Very hard worker. I ain't never seen nobody outwork Poppa. Poppa used the last man standing in the studio. Forever Young was Poppa's like favorite song that we did together.
In 2022, Lil Poppa signed with Yo Gotti's collective music group, a defining moment in his career. He released several fan favorites, including Love and War, Mind Over Matter, and Happy Tears, along with projects like Almost Normal Again. Just this past Friday, he released a new single titled Out of Town Bay. Since the news of his passing broke, Lil Poppa has been trending on X. He had nearly 1 million followers on Instagram and more than 600,000 listeners on Spotify.
I feel empty, but I love him. I love him to death. I always will. And I'm just trying to compartmentalize everything.
Photographer and creator Terrence Tyson says he met Lil Poppa at the very beginning of his career.
I know how, like myself and a lot of other people, like how hard we went for him to get where he needed to be. It was a shock. It was a big loss.
Tyson says the rapper pushed through trials and tribulations to create opportunities for himself and others.
When he made it, it felt like everyone made it.
Now, as Jacksonville and fans across the country mourn this loss, those closest to him say his heart and music will keep his legacy alive.
He's gonna live on. His legacy is gonna continue.
He was a star.
And Lil Poppa was scheduled to perform at his birthday bash on March 21st at the Fillmore Center in New Orleans. No details surrounding his death have been released at this time, and the medical examiner's office says his cause of death is still pending.
Yeah, that's unfortunate right there. Rest in peace to Lil Poppa. Love to the whole everybody in Jayville who's been affected by this and everything.
Right, and he was, like I said, he was signed with Yo Gotti, a collective music group and everything. And I never even heard any of his music. But what happens is, which is sad when you see stories like this, you tend to go and listen to the people's music, after they have transitioned and everything. But I'm definitely gonna be checking it out. Love and War, Mind Over Matter, Happy Tears, all that stuff. I'll be checking out. And what was you saying before we came on?
The Out of Town Bay.
Out of Town Bay, yeah. You were just talking about it.
Yeah, so, yeah, I like that. I like that cut because he got a little line in there. What's that? I think that's that Marvin Gaye joint, that Distant Lover, or is that Smokey? Which one is that? That's Marvin Gaye, right?
I'm not really sure, but it's going to take off though, right? So it's going to take off. And especially in his passing, and the thing about it, they say he just released that song
Let me see,
a couple of days ago.
Because I be rocking the oldies, man. What's that Distant Lover?
Distant Lover?
Yeah, that's Marvin Gaye. I know.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I was like, man, hold up, that's my jam.
Yeah.
I got Marvin Gaye on the wall in my house. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite R&B singer of all time.
Right.
I think Marvin Gaye is the best R&B singer of all time. I got Michael Jackson as the king of pop,
right?
But I got Marvin Gaye as the greatest R&B singer ever. But yeah, he got that Distant Lover.
And when you say that, it's not one of our topics. But once you said that, man, it's kind of like it made me think back, like, hold on, who is it? It could be Marvin Gaye, right? But I think that could be very true. But I also think that the music back then in that era, to me, it was just better R&B music. You know what I'm saying? Could be, and a lot of the reasons why is because it was bands. They went into the studio with actual bands and real instruments, and then with people that don't have vinyl or played vinyl in the past, it's a sound that you just can't get digitally. You know what I'm saying? So, back then the vinyl was rocking and everything. Remember at 12 o'clock every night on radio stations across the country, they'll put on the Quiet Storm. You know what I mean? And
I do remember the Quiet Storm.
Yeah, man. So
Melvin Lindsay.
Hey man, it's blowing.
Yeah, that's Smokey Robinson joint. But they had different DJs. Donnie Simpson did the Quiet Storm, Melvin Lindsay in the Quiet Storm. I think he started it though. But but that's Smokey though for sure right there.
Yeah, but Lil Poppa, like we said on another show that we had where I think it was a suicide incident. You know, call that number. Um, for the hotline if you ever need help. For something.
Yeah, I don't know the details. The details. They
Well, that's
said,
what ABC's reporting. ABC's reporting Florida rapper Lil Poppa dies by suicide at 25. So they're not going into the details of it, but they pretty much saying it's been confirmed, I guess, by the investigators that that's what it was. Then that's what it's
I
looking
don't
like.
know. I ain't gonna rock with that. I'm gonna wait until they come out with an autopsy report and they come out with something substantial, like, and we see what's going on, because when people pass away, I watched some other stuff where people were looking at comments and stuff like that, and and people be just guessing and assuming, and the news, the news, they follow it,
Right.
but sometimes they may even get it wrong. They may say it's this now and then it was foul play or something like that. So
initial reports are always wrong, pretty much. Not always, but a lot of times it's wrong. I mean, if they jump into an investigation and find out it was foul play, then we'll be following the story up with something else.
Yeah, but right now, just want to rest in, show love, and tell people go check that music out though. I don't know what all he got going on, but I know he wasn't a Jacksonville drill rapper. So we not pushing no drill. Unless it's a fire drill. That's the only type of drill we pushing. We not pushing no drill unless it's a fire drill. So yeah, rest in peace to Lil Pop, man, to Lil Poppa. And condolences to the family, prayers and love, strength, serenity, all that good stuff. And may your legacy live on. Moving to our second topic tonight, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and check out these tariffs. The Supreme Court ends the Trump tariffs. And let's check out and see what that's gonna be like.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruling today against President Trump's sweeping global tariffs, saying they are illegal. A short time later, the president said he'd impose a new 10% global tariff. While this is all being sorted out, the move could impact businesses all across the nation, including here in South Florida. CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez is your reporter in Southwest Miami-Dade with how local businesses and shoppers are reacting.
Mixed reaction today from consumers after hearing the news. Some say the tariffs definitely affect their pocket, while others say they agree with the president's decision. When the Supreme Court ruled President Donald Trump does not have the authority to impose tariffs on imports under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, we wanted to know what that means for our local businesses and you, the consumer. Does it affect you as a consumer?
Oh, wow. That's a very deep question. It would take me all day.
It's good that he's doing that, but we need help here as well.
Xavier Miranda is the owner of Top Florida Roofing, a small business feeling the tariff effects.
Hopefully the Supreme Court is able to follow through on their judgment and the tariffs don't keep going up.
The average U.S. tariff rate is around 17%. The Supreme Court's ruling could drop it down to 7%.
I just got an email yesterday from my two suppliers that everything is going up. My metal's going up, shingles are going up.
A difficult time not only for business owners, but also shoppers who tell us they're struggling to make ends meet.
It's strangling me financially, definitely.
And although some say times are tough, others say they support what the president is doing.
As a consumer, I think it's a good idea because he's bringing more money back into the country.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I back him 100%.
100%.
Said the administration will not refund companies who paid tariffs during the last year because he said the Supreme Court did not address that.
Finally, the doctors behind it.
So
yeah, this was a major big loss for him, and even for the people that stand behind him 100%. But yeah, he immediately went out and attacked them. He went on TV and just pretty much said they were incompetent and everything else. And you know, they ruled with him pretty much on everything, at least by the vote. You know, by having the majority of the vote in the Supreme Court. But this time they didn't rule with him, and yeah, and that's what it is. So
this, you know what I think is going on? This what I think is going on with this whole situation. Now, I don't know legally, because I haven't studied it. His that act that they were talking about and his authorities within that act, what he's able to do. All right. But one thing I do know for sure is that if the tariffs would have stayed in place and what's getting ready to happen in the economy with the amount of money printing that's about to go on and the inflation that we're about to see, then it would have been crazy. And I think that they did this to offset some of that, because even though, shout out to all the people in TSA and all the other federal employees who are working without pay, when the final budget does get passed, and then we look at next year's budget and we look at the projected national debt between what it's expected to be like between now and 20, we'll be in 26, 2029, 2030. You know, it is going to be crazy the way the price of things go up. When we look at how prices have increased just since the pandemic, and I would say since 2020, because everybody, you know, pandemic is like, okay, but since 2020, and we look at where we at now and how prices have increased in comparison. Before that, we was in a low interest rate environment, so it was at zero. And we look at how fast they raised them and everything, and all the prices went up. You know, we seen things with eggs and different consumer items, different food items going through the roof, and then they had to come back down, and then all of these fluctuations and things like that. But overall, the nature of our monetary system is it's a debt-based economy. So that means that you have to print more money in order to support it. And in turn, that means that things that we use are going to increase in price. It's no different from why, you know, a house was cheaper for our parents or grandparents. A car was cheaper for our parents or grandparents. You know, a bottle of water was cheaper, you know, rent, electric, all of these different things. It's not because it's more expensive, it's because it's more money out here. So,
right.
And the money's being devalued, the dollar's being devalued.
Right.
So,
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, you gotta have enough to support to prop that money up. And if they don't have it in the treasury right away, they got to pass it on to the American people by raising prices on pretty much everything. But you know, he turned around.
hold up. Let me say something. It don't matter if it's in the treasury or not. It's going to go up regardless. I want to just correct that. That's it, because that's not correct.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it don't matter if it's in the treasury or not.
You know, yeah,
it's going to go
it.
up because, and I simplify it like this. Remember what you could take to the ice cream truck and get for $1? Remember what you could go into the store and buy for $1?
Yeah.
Now, what can you go get for $1 now? You can't even go to the dollar store and buy nothing for $1, because just the taxes alone is going to be $1.25.
Yeah.
You know,
so, I mean, and that's even the dollar store. They had to raise their shit, so it ain't even a dollar store no more.
Yeah, so it's everywhere. Like, it's just a normal thing that's going to happen. So it has nothing. They need to stop printing money. What we need is austerity. But what that would mean is that austerity is budget discipline. That means that they would have to stop spending and go without some things. So that means that people would get hurt. You know, like if they say we're not going to fund food stamps, We're not going to fund veteran benefits. We're not going to fund Social Security. We're not going to fund
Right.
these
But
programs for this.
that's true. That's true.
Even
And I
if they
think
said we're not going to send no money in foreign aid to people,
they already cut that.
you know,
They already cut USAID.
but not all of it though.
Pretty much. We can look at the numbers on it.
Ukraine, I'm gonna say this, right? Not for debate purpose, for fact purpose, because it's Black History Month. Ukraine still getting their money, and Black people ain't getting no reparations.
Yeah. But that's that war stuff. That's not the USAID that's feeding kids in Somalia. It's not
That's money that's coming from taxpayers.
Yeah. No doubt. All the money is coming from taxpayers.
Okay, so
everything's coming from taxpayers. But USAID and Ukraine money.
So I'm not gonna get
that's two different
technical
things.
on what pot of money it come from. If it come from the Treasury, then it come from our government.
Okay. So check
Right.
this out. So he also just announced yesterday, after he had his of peace, the Department of Peace or whatever he got.
Board of Peace.
The Board of Peace.
Yeah.
He announced yesterday that he's going to take $10 billion and give that to the Board of Peace, which he is the chair of the Board of Peace, and he can spend that money however he likes. And a lot of people are ringing the alarm on
Ain't
this.
no doing with the money.
Who knows? I mean, because the Board of Peace ain't nothing but he didn't like the UN, so he formed the Board of Peace so he can go over here. Like, I don't want to be in that room, so I'm gonna form my own room. And I mean, pretty much the countries that he got in there is, pretty much the countries that's not part of the UN. So I mean, it's and that's kind of crazy to me.
Is that a
but
fact, or is that
that's a fact? That's a fact.
that the countries that are a part of the Board of Peace are not a part of the UN?
Most of them are not a part of the UN, and a lot of them refuse.
Be accurate though. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. You sound extra liberal when you do that.
I am extra liberal. What you
know
mean?
what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, but that's misinforming.
No,
people because that's letting your emotional connection to the liberalism and your hate for Trump underinform people. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even in. I ain't on no side.
Most of the countries that are in the Board of Peace are
but we want people
dictatorship
to be properly
type countries.
informed, though, man.
They can't even get into the UN. A lot of the countries that's in there can't even get into the UN.
Okay, but when you make a state, that's fair, all right. But when you make the statement, all of the countries that are on the Board of Peace are countries that are not in NATO. Like, is that factual? Because the person with no good sense, they'll take that and they'll run with that ignorantly. You know what I'm saying? And you gave them that. You gave them that ignorance to run with instead of properly inform them. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you properly inform somebody, then they ain't got to be ignorant. Then they can be well prepared to assess the situation. Whatever Trump gonna do with the 10 billion, like, who cares? Like, end of the day, like, when he ain't the president no more, nobody's going to care about what he's doing.
Right.
It's going to be a distant memory. So it's hot right now. But the thing that's important is like these tariffs, because whatever he do with that Board of Peace, that necessarily ain't going to affect, the board of your pockets. And these tariffs are important because when prices go up as business owners, all right, when you get an increase in your imports and exports, you in turn put those costs on your products, and that in turn the consumer has to pay more for those things, and that's us.
Right.
So what we want is we want to be educated on these things right here so we can govern ourselves properly and navigate, so we don't be feeling like we broke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Going to the store just for necessities.
I looked it up. It's 27 countries on the Board of Peace. 6 of them are in NATO.
Okay, there you go. I mean, that's clarity.
So there's 20. There's 21 to 6.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter to me. Like, it don't matter. But that's the correct information though. Than just putting it out there like everybody ain't nobody in NATO anyway. Like, they all couldn't get in.
Right. So what you think about him like trying to take the money to 10 billion and putting it into the Board of Peace?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
You ain't looking into it like that.
I don't care though. What is the Board of Peace supposed to do for Americans? What is that narrative?
There's not a plan. He don't have a plan. He probably give it to us in 2 weeks.
So
That's what
none
he
of it's
always say.
been
2 weeks.
discussed, right?
He don't.
So
Yeah,
until then, you know, like, and this is a key thing that I don't do. What I don't do is I don't be geeked off what politicians say. I watch what they do. And that's why this topic was specific to the tariffs. This was why it was chosen, because the tariffs affect us. You know, him saying he gonna give some money and do some things, that stuff don't affect me right now. You know, I don't know in what way it would affect me or people I care about or my community or my environment. I don't know how, you know, until we actually. But him just saying, I'm going to take $10 billion, I could give a fuck about it. He got it. If he don't got it, then it's coming from somewhere. And taxes get taken. Taxes aren't paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, taxes come with employment. If you go get a job in America, you're going to pay taxes.
Right.
Federal
Absolutely.
taxes, like
Absolutely.
regardless. It comes with getting a job. Ma, I want a car. Ma, I want this. Okay, well, go get you a job. But when you get you a job and you're going to go work and you looking at, oh, you coming home like, hey, they paying me $15 an hour. Oh, well, guess what? You already getting 11. What you mean I'm getting 11? Now we got to sit down and teach you about finance, because taxes is going to be taken, you know?
Right.
So those are the things that's important.
A tariff is a tax on the people.
Tariff is a tax, absolutely, on goods, and then it's in turn passed to the consumer to make up for the difference.
All right. So the New York Times,
every time.
The New York Times just 1 hour ago, say 59 minutes, just reported that after the Supreme Court made their ruling, Trump imposed a 10% global tariff. This was after they made the ruling. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's a circus. It's a whole circus.
He might can do that though. You know what I'm saying? He might couldn't do all these adjusted tariffs, like, oh,
right.
on you, 50% on
that person,
30% on you.
I'm gonna do a 10% across the board on everybody.
I like you, so we just gonna do 2% on you. You know, I don't like you, so you gonna pay 100. You know, just bully type shit. You know,
he's a bully.
So
yeah, man.
And it's not what's called fair trade, you know. And in order to have economies being able to grow and being able to share technology and products and things like that, you need to have a fair trade system, you know. So it should be somewhat balanced to where everybody can, you know, share their products and people can get the things that they need. And it doesn't feel like, you know, you work a whole 2 weeks or you work a whole month and, you know, your money run out. I mean, and we talking about outside of people living beyond their means and not having a budget. You know, we talking about where it's just to sustain your necessities. You know, the price is just running so rampant that it's like people feeling hopeless.
Yeah.
So hopefully this dials some of that in. And what people have to realize, like they were saying, like it won't be immediate. You know, there's a lag effect. So we could see around the summertime, maybe some of these things starting to come down a little bit, maybe spring, end of spring, you know, beginning of spring. But they still about to start printing though. They still about to start printing more money. So we're gonna see the stock market go up. We're gonna see some pullbacks or whatever, but we're about to see the stock market go up some more. We're about to see all this stuff about to go up because they have to weaken the dollar in order to do some of those things that Trump wants to do. Like, so they're talking about the manufacturing and bringing jobs back and things like that. In order to do that, you need a cheap dollar, you know, and this is like some monetary policy, economics. Like you need a cheap dollar, and what that means is you need the dollar to be very weak. So you need asset prices high, and you need to be able to, you know, have cheap money, have access to cheap.
Well, I
debt.
mean, we had a manufacturing like trade deal where we were getting, you know, cheap goods and American made stuff was really expensive. So if Americans are making things and it's really expensive, it's not gonna pan out. So like you said, if you weaken the dollar a little bit, but everything is going to go up. But I mean, how long does that take? What does that look like? What does that look like to where we get all these things that he
The
said
belt
he's
buckle
gonna do?
factory, people working at the belt buckle factory, people
Right.
working at the hat factory,
Right.
people working at the factory where they make the little plastic things that go on the thingamajig. Like
We in trouble.
like
We in trouble.
that'll take at least, I'm thinking at least 10 years. 10 years. Bare minimum 10 years.
Yeah, and I mean, and we done destroyed pretty much. I mean, not destroyed 100%, but our trade is looking terrible right now. You know what I'm saying? We done cut off a whole lot of partners that was buying from us. Now they buying from other places. You know, and it's just crazy. So I mean,
Yeah, but we don't make much here though in America. America is a big consumer economy. You know, China is the manufacturer of the world.
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
But they were buying at like 70% of their soybeans from us. Like,
soybeans,
yeah, I
some
mean,
corn,
it's
you
an
know,
industry that made money.
some
You know
different
what I'm saying?
things. But that don't hurt us though. Like, cause then we can buy that stuff and it should be cheaper.
You said it don't hurt us.
Nah, it don't hurt us.
So China buying, so us buying all that product from China that we have in our households, you turn over anything, it's made in China.
You just
So,
moved the goalpost.
but
You
no,
asked about
listen.
the
Let me
soybean.
finish. Let me finish.
You
Let me
asked,
finish.
but
But
don't
you didn't
move
let me
the
finish. Let me.
goalpost though.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna bring it all back
Because you
around
said
to each
we
other.
selling. Now you're talking about us buying though.
Listen, but you're not even letting me finish saying what I'm saying.
Say what you saying.
If China, we buying all those goods from China, right? But then China in return is buying soybeans from us. It's an offset. It does affect us. It does affect our
No, it
economy.
don't.
If we, I
No, it don't.
I can't believe that it
because
wouldn't.
it's not in the same volume. It's not in the same volume.
It's not, but it's still offsetting. So
It
if
don't
it's not in the
offset
same,
nothing. It don't
yeah,
offset nothing, fam.
yeah,
It
it's
don't
it's
because
an offset.
if I buy 10 billion in consumer electronics and you only buy 1 billion in soybeans, what's the offset? That's a $9 billion difference. What are you talking about? It's not the same. It's not
It's
even
not.
equal
No, it's not equal,
at
but
all.
it's
It's
an
not even the
offset.
same. It don't
So now,
offset
so
nothing.
now the 9 billion. So now, if you said
China
10
still
billion,
making more money off of us than we was making off them.
yeah, they still are. They still are. But we're bringing some of that money that we spent over there back into our economy with that 1 billion, even though we spent 10 billion. Is bringing something back. So, I mean, to me, it's an offset. It's not equal.
It's
It
not no
ain't equal.
offset, bro.
It's not equal, but so
It's
I
not
mean,
no offset.
if you
It
look
ain't
at
it ain't balance.
if you look at 10 years, that's 10 extra
It ain't
billion.
balance. What we need to do, if we look at 10 years, then we spent 90 billion and they've
Right.
spent and we've spent and
10.
they've spent 9. Okay. So that it ain't the same. All right. However,
And that's one industry.
what we would need to do is we would need to rebuild America, like what he talking about, the whole build America again or whatever thing. But it takes so many years because let's look at the training. Let's look at the young people and their lack of desire to work. Let's look at the mindset of how everybody wanted to send their kids to college and everybody ain't college made. Let's look at that. Let's look at his kids going to college and then no degrees. All right. Let's look at how AI is transforming a lot of stuff and removing jobs that people are not even prepared for to be able to transition. So like that little bit of like first it's like a 9 billion and a 10 to 1 is not, like stop it. However, it's a deeper issue that has to happen. Like people don't even have the training, the skills necessary to even enter in these workforces. So even if they said, okay, we're gonna build 20 factories tomorrow. All right, 5-year build out, that's still 5 years away. You still need to train all these people. It still needs to be in a location where you have a base of people to work. So you need it to be where people are there, people are willing to work, and you can train them. So those logistics, you know, and just having that, that's a whole thing that has to happen. And China already have it. So it's not gonna be what people think. Like what we can prepare for is we can prepare for higher prices. Okay. And people need to start thinking about the future, what jobs and things like that AI is not going to affect it so much, like we was talking about the last show. You know, what are those jobs that AI and robots will not have a severe effect on? Because as a business, you're going to want to maximize profits.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to bring this stuff in.
So you're going to want to upgrade your technology. You know, it's just it's a normal process. You know, people be upset. Yeah, like, man, I can't find no job. But I be asking people when I hear that, like, what do you train? What are your skill sets? You know, and then what do you expect? What are your expectations? And what are you trained at? What are your skill sets? You know, well, if you can't do nothing, then who fault is that? You need to get some training. You need to get some skills. That's what the expectation. That's why those questions are presented. You know, and then if you say, okay, well, I can do A, B, C, and D. All right, well, you may possess skills that you don't need to go find somebody's job. You may need to just get on your hustle and work your skill sets that you have, you know, and not be lazy. So, you know, it's because it ain't looking good for the future. Not with these
Hell nah. No, it ain't been looking good for a little second now. So, and it's getting worse fast.
With these promises of we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and then seeing stuff like this, because even that one guy was just like, I'm with whatever Trump do 100%. That's cool, but at the same time, like, I could tell he just, like I was, you know, teasing you earlier, like with your liberal emotion, he just with his Republican emotion. He not examining what's really going on. Like he hit a word Trump and he ready to go and do whatever he wanted, whatever Trump say do. Most of the liberal community hit a word Trump and they want to go in the opposite direction. It's fuck them.
Yeah, I want to.
You know what I'm saying? So,
fucking right.
So it's like one extreme to the next. It's nobody saying like, let me see what's going on, so then I can see how I need to apply this thing to my life, because he gonna do what the fuck he gonna do regardless. I ain't in control of what Trump do. I ain't been in control of what no president do. You know, I ain't in control of what no other human being do, but I know what Chef Earl Pearl gonna do. You know, and the first thing I'm going to do is pay attention, because that's free. You know, and then what am I paying attention to? The things that's going to benefit me, not the things that's going to get me caught up on some emotional bullshit and then have me tricked out of my position, you know?
Well, I think it's important for
bums,
presidents, politicians to do what's right so that you can do what you want to do. You do have the option to move a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, the country can easily flip around to where you just don't have those type of options no more. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what kind of degree you have and all that shit. That can happen.
Yeah.
So I just think our elected officials should be doing the best, working for the American people, and trying to do the best to make sure, you know, we trying to prop the country up in a whole, and not just certain families and billionaires and shit.
Yeah, I'm with you, you know, but I think we got to become billionaires, because I think that's the only way. I think that's the only way you're gonna be able to, you know. I'm convinced that, like, if you ain't a billionaire, this shit don't apply to you. You're just
I'm going Blues Brothers on that one. You know,
you're just one of the regulars. You one of the ordinary. We're just ordinary people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
sir.
Unless you just a billionaire, like, you got to get there. You know, because clearly Well, we're gonna get to that later. We know the billionaires, and yeah, we got a story about that later. But let's go ahead and jump into this, y'all. Keeping it pushing. We're gonna head to B-more and check out some Black excellence going on at Johns Hopkins University.
Yes, sir.
For this Black History Month. Y'all know it's Black History Month. Y'all been doing something cultural out there? Something black-tastic?
Nah, I don't even think I really did nothing. But be black, shit, I'm black. I ain't got to do nothing special to be black. I'm black.
Yeah.
The fuck?
You
Part
know,
of this shit.
I mean, we can't change that, but I'm just saying, like, sharing some knowledge with somebody, doing something to uplift somebody else, inspiring others, acts of kindness and stuff like that. Acts of just inspiration, motivation.
Or like what we doing, spreading the word about Black history. It might motivate people, so.
For sure.
Finally, the doctors behind a different type of medical breakthrough. Take a good look at these 5 doctors. More than a portrait, it's a moment suspended in history. For the first time, 5 African-American surgeons now lead the trauma service at the preeminent Johns Hopkins Hospital. Tonight, we hear from some of the trailblazers behind this historic team.
My parents are so proud. I am the first physician in my family, and I think it's so impactful.
For Dr. Lawrence Brown, medicine is more than science, it's service.
That's what's important to me. Equity has to remain at the forefront of how we deliver patient care, how we do research, how we scale programs up in our healthcare system.
Dr. Zachary Numa is the result of service that was modeled and purpose that was inherited.
Growing up in Columbus, Georgia in the 1990s, I watched my parents, my mom, a family medicine doc, my dad, a general surgeon, show up to serve patients every day.
For Dr. Ife Shiombo, history isn't just remembered here, it's carried forward.
The best part is that I get to save lives and have an impact every single day. To anyone who's watching, realize that your dream and capacity can only be limited by you. And if you can think it, see it, then you can absolutely reach it.
Finally, the doctors behind a different type of medical breakthrough. Take a good look at these 5.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, let me say something. Shout out to L. Brown, Zach, Dr. Ife. They ain't even give everybody name.
So you got Dr. Valentine, Dr. Lawrence, Dr. Ivy, Dr. Zachary, Dr. Effie. They call him Effie. Shoyobo. Yeah. And Dr. Valentine, he's a 2nd-year resident. Lawrence is a 7-year resident. Ivy is a 3-year resident. Zachary is a 9-year resident. And however you say his last name, I don't want to kill him, but they call him Iffy for short or something like that. He's a 3rd-year resident. And I mean, that's Black excellence right there. And this is the first time in American history at Johns Hopkins that it's been like that. And they head up the trauma and acute care surgery program.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, excellent.
We want to give him another round of applause, another round of applause, another round of applause, another round of applause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For this Black excellence right here, y'all looking at. That's our people, y'all. We could do this too. We can do this too. You ain't just got to be sweating all the time. And you ain't got to be rapping all the time.
They started from somewhere, and they had a dream and they went out and did it, So
this is, I think this is more obtainable than the NFL or the NBA.
Absolutely.
Or
And
anything sports wise,
The great thing is this is modern Black history as well. It's not just going, you got to search back way back to see some shit. No, this is modern Black history, and they doing it right now in front of our eyes in real time. So that's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing. One more round of applause, man, for these beautiful, intelligent African-American brothers and sisters. doing their thing, you know, keeping people safe, saving lives. You know, it is giving Ben Carson, you know, it's giving Ben Carson inspiration, and I love it. I love it. Shout out to them. Happy Black History Month.
And shout out to like you said, Ben Carson too.
Always.
You know, never mind party or nothing like that, but Ben Carson.
Why you bring it up? Why you bring it up? Why you bring it up?
Because I'm one of the people that's about to shout him out. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, because there's a lot of people that look at him and be like, yo, he's just that man, and he did a lot, you know, a lot for surgeries and stuff like that. I think he had the some with the stents and the open heart surgery. He created something.
The first surgeon to separate Siamese twins.
He got another one too. A medical product that he invented too.
Yeah, he had a lot going on. We did a show on Ben Carson. Yeah. Ben Carson is one of the most profound African Americans in African American history. And that's where I stopped at right there. His story is that of a Black man in America, and all of his adversity and everything else is that of a human being called a African American, wearing that skin, trying to accomplish everything that he's tried to accomplish. It's no different.
Choice to be great. He made a choice to be great. Like you said, that despite everything that he had went through, you know, he wasn't nowhere near a privileged person. He came from the mud, you know. So shout out to Ben Carson. Shout out to the 5 over at Johns Hopkins, and shout out to Black History.
Absolutely.
Tonight, a haunted-looking former Prince Andrew released after nearly 12 hours in police custody. Driven away from a police station in eastern England after his unprecedented arrest in the early hours of his 66th birthday. The King's younger brother taken into custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office, while authorities searched his house in Norfolk and his former royal residence.
So they locked him up for misconduct in public office. Okay. Misconduct in public office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Residence near Windsor Castle. Andrew has not been charged with a crime, and authorities have not made public the details of the allegations against him. But his release doesn't mean he's in the clear, and he could still face charges. Police tonight saying he is under investigation. It comes weeks after the Justice Department released emails Andrew allegedly sent to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in 2010. Andrew was serving as a UK trade envoy at the time and appears to have forwarded Epstein British government documents on trade policy. Also in the files, these photos of Andrew kneeling over an unidentified woman. It's not clear why. King Charles was not told in advance about today's arrest, a palace official tells NBC News.
Do you have any reactions to the arrest of your brother, sir? Your Majesty, how are you feeling after your brother's arrest?
Saying in a statement, I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. Has the royal family ever faced a crisis like this before?
Not in modern memory, certainly not in the past 400 years or so.
In fact, the last time a royal was arrested was in 1647, when King Charles I was captured in the English Civil War. Andrew stepped back from royal duties in 2019, following this interview with the BBC about his relationship with Epstein.
But you were staying at the house of a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
Okay, right there. That's what we wanted. That's what we want. What does that mean? We want to run this back real quick. Couple seconds right here.
Convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
What is that?
That mean that when I'm in that hemisphere, I can go there. I can go get my rocks off. I can have me some drinks. I can be on the island by my, not with nobody else on it but me and the people that I know, and he was part of this shit. You know, that's what I see.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's Cold Season's interpretation, we gonna rock with that, because I have no clue what convenient place to stay. When somebody asks you a question, he was a known sex offender, and you spent time. Let's hear it one more time, because this is strange.
Relationship with Epstein.
But you were staying at the house of a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
And like then he paused and thought about it.
That right there was telling.
Like like he just really said some smooth shit though. Like
Man,
you know,
place to be.
So this
With
what
a sex offender.
this what I want to do real quick. I have to look up the definition of convenient. Okay. So the definition of convenient, all right. We know we asked Cole gave us a synopsis on what do we think that means. But the definition of convenience says fitting in well with a person's needs, activities, and plans. Suitable, appropriate, agreeable. You know, so this is the reason why, because they English, they the ones who came up with the language we use. We the only ones who put meanings to it. They use it in a correct form. So I think that's the reason why his brother said, I'm kicking you out the whip. From this question, this is what I think pissed off Charles. I think when he seen his brother said, you fucking idiot. It was a convenient place to stay. You couldn't think of anything else to say. You said it was a convenient place to stay. And then he probably went to a dictionary. He probably got the Oxford one and said, convenient, fitting in well with a person's needs and activities and plans. So your needs and activities and plans were suitable to be around and fitting and agreeable to be around a registered sex offender. Is that what you saying, little bro?
That's what he said. That's what he said, you know, and then it came out. And then it all came out, you know. So this interview right here was before the picture came out. So once the picture came out, they were like, ain't nothing we can do.
And then how the paparazzi was on Charles on KC. You know, he was just like, they was like, yeah, your brother got locked up, your brother this, your brother that. He was just like, I don't even see you, y'all. I'm blind to y'all.
Yeah, he said,
I'm blind on y'all. I don't know what y'all talking about.
It gotta play out, you know. So it's pretty much what he's saying. But you know, that photo,
I mean, is, they said he ain't know. He the king, how he ain't know?
He knew.
That's Cap.
He knew before we knew.
He knew before they did it. Matter of fact, they sat down and he probably told him, like, bring your little dumbass over here so we could sit down and talk about how we gonna do this shit.
Right.
You know.
Well, they reporting that he was locked up, intake. He did 9 hours in jail, excuse me. And that's what he did, and got his papers and whatnot and left. And I'm wondering, is it gonna be convenient for him to stay at the palace any longer? Or wherever he was at. But,
they already exiled him to his own little, you know,
he got
his own 40 acres. And
he got his own little camp.
Yeah, he got his own thing.
Yeah, but they said no one had been locked up in the royal family since 13 something.
Since like 1600 and something.
16, goodness gracious.
You know, that was before, what was it? Right. When did Columbus sail?
Hey, we were still in Africa.
Nah, it was 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So when was his? It wasn't 13. It was 16.
16
So,
something.
okay.
Yeah,
That was pretty
pretty
smooth. And then put a picture up of the dude that got locked up back then. That's crazy. So, but that's the way it's going. And I mean, there's major fallouts all across the world. So with that. So I guess it'll keep on going, and maybe here's a role here, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. So
heads a roll for what?
For things in the Epstein file.
No, nothing.
Yeah, well,
nothing is gonna happen. And this is, to me, this is just, I don't even know why they doing this. I think that's, like, I ain't doing no conspiracy thing, but I think that
you don't think nobody getting locked up, not even like the low hanging fruit?
No, because the low hanging fruit is already got taken care of. When we talking about, man, these big ass names, man, like, see, it's a difference when you have, it's a difference. And remember how I made the comment earlier, like what you were saying, the hope for the goodness and the humanity, and it ain't happening. Like it don't work like that, because the people at the top want to be the people, want to stay at the top. Once they get there, they smell that air up there and they like, yeah, I want to stay here, so I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to stay at this top. It's only people in our class, the regular people, who don't appreciate their elevation in steps. It's rare. Okay. Like the mindset of, you could take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga type thing. Like, only low class people think like that. The majority of people that make it out the hood don't never want to go back to the hood. Why you think all the rappers make money and move the fuck out the hood?
Most people that make it out the hood don't never go back to the hood. Maybe to visit some family or something, but not.
But then you also don't take your hood habits, because taking your hood habits could have those people like, man, fuck that shit. We don't want that hood shit around here, because we done made our way up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
But I've seen it. There's a lot of people that make it up out of there, and they take all that with them. $3 million home be the same way.
I ain't never lived in no $3 million home neighborhood, so I don't know what that's like.
No, I've been around people, but I mean, I'm not talking about me. I don't live in the $3 million neighborhood.
So I'm going on personal experience.
Me too.
And I done been in some real nice places, and there wasn't no activity like that. Like,
I've seen the opposite in very nice places.
Honestly. On a daily basis.
I wasn't there on a daily basis.
Okay, then. So an incident.
But I know the people. I know the people that live there and how they operate their home. But I wasn't there on a daily basis.
Okay,
but their shit was hood in nice place.
But what was the hood? What was they do that was hood?
I mean, just the way they kept their house.
So their house was dirty on the inside.
No, like the outside.
The outside wasn't kept.
Yeah, the outside wasn't kept. People coming through all the time, all hours, and you was free to come through all the time, but it'd be a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It was really no
how many acres
no respect,
no
respect for your neighbors. Nah, it wasn't acres. They were big houses with you got a neighbor, like you see a neighbor, you know what I'm saying?
So they big $3 million houses, but you can look outside your window and you can see your neighbor house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you look outside.
So and it's not like you on a cliff on a mountain.
And you see no.
Like none of that type.
No, I mean like cul-de-sac type shit.
Okay.
But big houses.
So to me, that ain't wealth. That's just a big ass house. Like understand that, like, this my thing. That average house is a 3-bedroom house. That's the standard home. Once you start going over 3-bedroom, anything from 5 to 8, that's a mini mansion. Anything from like 7 and above rooms, you're in a mansion. Okay. So the thing is that All standard houses are 3-bedroom houses. That's the standard, a 3-bedroom house. Some of the smaller ones is just 2. Once you start getting into that 5, 6, 7, you're in a mini mansion, because the only thing, everything else after that is a mansion. 7 bedrooms or more. That's mansion talk. All right. So either you get to the 5, 6, the 4, 5, 6s, 7 in that range, the 5, 6, 7, and you think that you done already made it to the 7, 8, 9, 10, which you haven't, because you still got fucking neighbors.
Yeah, but they ain't in the
Real
hood no
money,
more.
real money don't have no neighbors.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, but we talking about them getting out the hood, and you know what I'm saying. And
Okay, so what I'm still talking about is, I ain't moving the goalpost. I'm still on point. When we talking about the billionaires, right? All these billionaire people are on this Epstein list. Trillionaire people, royalty, all of this stuff. All right. And what my correlation was that it's only the low vibrational people who don't be trying to elevate, who don't acknowledge where they are. That's why I said the people who get up out of there, they want to stay up out of there, and their goal is to go up higher. They goal ain't thinking, oh, because I'm in this mini, all right, that I done made it. Okay. They like, okay, this one level, where else can I take this? Because I done accomplished this. That's
there's
how
always room.
people
There's
think.
always
That's
room
how
for
people
growth.
think.
Yeah, there's always room for growth.
That want to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people who get complacent is like, this fine. I could be here forever. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? You're not challenging yourself.
But I mean,
you
if you came from the projects and you work your way up to the mini, you probably could be like, okay, I don't have that many kids,
but not bringing project behavior to the mini.
Yeah, not bringing project behavior to the mini. Because I mean, you can be a millionaire, billionaire, and live in a log cabin and be fine if that's how you want to live. But,
exactly.
You know,
but the people not gonna have you. Is just, that's what I'm saying. Like, because you got neighbors. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And real money don't have no neighbors. And when we talking about these people,
them neighbors will get your ass up out of there too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's a thing too. But these people that's on this Epstein files, okay, all these people none of these people is regular folks. None of these people. The only people who was regular, who we didn't know about, is the people who got like prosecuted, like the Ghislaine Maxwell, and I'm sure she was worth a few million. You know?
Yeah, her dad was some millionaire dude or some shit.
You see what I'm saying? So like all of them in them circles, and everybody who was on the manifest or on the files, on the this, on the that, everybody's a big ass name with a big ass bank account.
Yeah.
And when they released it, they said that we released these files and we already prosecuted the people that we feel like that need to be prosecuted. So
that was 3 people.
So it's 4 people.
4 people.
And look, do we even know the other 2 people name?
Nah, they said that they worked at the they worked on the island, so they was pretty much employees that was complicit in what was going on.
So we don't even know that, and they not
even they were low hanging fruit,
and they not even releasing their names.
Right.
So it's like, so what is the clown show about then? Why they release the Jay-Z name, the Pusha T name, the Bill Gates name, this Prince Andrew, with like his whole family done just denounced him and said, you ain't even royalty no more. You know what I mean? I mean that he is talking real stupid on the interview. It was convenient, like, to hang out with a pedo, a pedophile. Like, come on, family. And he was already a registered sex offender. So it's like, I could get why your family would be like, you dumbass, man, stay to, move around. But at the same time, like, they didn't cut him all the way off, Yeah,
they set him up somewhere nice and pretty much said, sit down and be quiet.
It ain't like, I'm not going to be your friend no more. Everybody was talking about how, Jay going to lose Super Bowl and all this, and NFL ain't going to be dealing with him. Jay was at the front row at the Super Bowl. Brought his babies and everything. Even had his own merch. Even had a merch collabo with the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That sold out. So it's like, what y'all talking about? You know, like none of this stuff. And it's just everybody wishing and hoping that something else happens. So it's like they could see somebody else get crucified on the cross in public.
A lot of
Shit crazy.
A lot of it was simple mentions in there because it was a bunch of emails. So that's like if I email my governor tomorrow and then 5 years later some shit come out and there's some files, I will be in the files. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it was just mentions and emails and stuff like that. And some of the people never even been in his presence. So I mean, you know, but we may find out, we may not. I'm not convinced that we ever gonna get the whole.
I don't think there's nothing else to find out. I don't think there's nothing else to find out.
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot more to. I think there's a lot more to find out, but I don't think we. You know, I'm not really sure we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Like what? You know? Like what else is there to find out? What you think it is to find out? Like who was screwing around and who was doing? You know.
Yeah.
So you want
accountability.
You want details about freaky activity.
If it was freaky activities involving minors, I want the people held accountable that did something to minors. I don't give a damn if they're grown now. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn if the minors are grown now. You know, if you did stuff back then and there's no statute of limitations on it and you thought you got away with it, and you didn't. Man. You know, it's somebody today got locked up for some shit they did 15 years ago and thought they got away with it somewhere. You know, so I mean, I just believe in accountability when it comes to shit like that, especially when it got to do with kids and those type of acts. Like, come on now.
I feel you, man. It should be some accountability, but you know, I'm not saying that it ain't already, that the accountability ain't already presented, and what's going to be done is going to be done. Like no matter what anybody feels or what they think is the moral thing to do or whatever, you know, they already said they not. So all that's left now is just this public opinion of everybody wanting something more to happen because they think enough didn't happen. And, you know, people giving their own opinions about what they think this person did or that person did when the government is already saying, like, we got the people in jail that we want to have in jail. We persecuted the people that we want to have prosecuted.
Right. And that's coming from Pam Bondi and Cash Patel, and which they got up there and lied. But I'm not even gonna get into all that. But, you know, I do want accountability. We ain't about to be up on here at 2:00 in the morning.
No, definitely not. Nah, we not definitely. I'm not that liberal with my time.
Yeah.
Definitely. So tonight, y'all, we had 4 topics, y'all. We want to extend some love, RIP to Jacksonville rapper LiL Poppa and his family.
Rest in peace, Papa.
And to the hip hop community. Go check out his music, man. He got some smooth cuts. And like Cold Season was saying, you know, if there is something where this young man took his own life, you know, like I'm somebody who understands mental health very much, from my own personal experiences. You know, like he was saying, you know, it's hotlines to call people, talk to somebody, especially if you're a veteran, talk to somebody, you know, call. It's hotlines. You know, but you gotta keep your mental health right though, y'all, you know, and you gotta stay away from sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? People who try to trigger you, who don't know that, you know, trying to trigger you might put their life in danger, you know, but more or less put your own in danger, you know. So people gotta really, you know, be aware of this mental health thing out here, and really seek the help that we need, man, because there's a lot of people walking around out here undiagnosed that really need to go. Don't be ashamed to get some treatment, people.
And real quick, you can call the hotline 24/7. There's only 3 numbers, 988 That's 988. If you ever feel like you're in any kind of crisis, call 988 from any phone in the United States.
There you go. 2, we had the Supreme Court ends the Trump tariffs, y'all. So we'll see what that thing, we'll see what, what that looks like in the coming months. Everybody be a little bit aware or conscious of what you're spending. Everybody should have a budget. If you don't have a budget, that's why you're struggling. Yeah, and that's just that. It's just straight like that. If you don't have a budget, that's the reason why you're struggling. So it doesn't matter what Trump tariffs do or what the Supreme Court does, because you're going to be struggling because your goal is spend, your goal is not budget. So be mindful, be aware of these things, y'all. We hear a lot of different things that come out of Trump's mouth. We see a lot of different things that President Trump does, but it's only certain things that we should be focused on. The monkey picks, I'm not going to be triggered by it. Things like this, these are the important things. The things that have to do with your money, that have to do with your pocket. Then we had the third topic tonight, Black excellence, y'all. We had shout out to all of those doctors at Johns Hopkins University up there in BMO doing they thug thizzle. You can do your thug thizzle in the medical room. You ain't got to be out here in the street trying to do nothing illegal. You ain't got to be in no club or none of that nonsense. You can be right there, and they are living proof in real time that this is going on in front of your eyes. All right, why Super Bowl, why quarterbacks winning the Super Bowl and people winning MVPs and stuff like that. We got some MVPs right here. That's right. So take note, relax and take note, and get the action, because it's doable, y'all. Black excellence at its finest. Salute to them. Black History Month. We always putting on for them. And then former Prince Andrew arrested, and for the most part, that's just a little more of the shit show, y'all.
Yeah, it was a convenient arrest. It was really convenient.
Yeah, I don't know how much more what's that even gonna be, or what that is, or whatever. It's just I think that's about it when it comes to what we'll see in that story. So yeah, y'all, we appreciate everybody for pulling up this evening. Make sure to smash that like button, and also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Brunch with the Fellas. We want everybody to continue to have a beautiful Black History, peaceful, positive, and productive rest of your weekend. February is almost gone. February was a quick month.
Yes.
A quick month. Okay. And we'll see y'all next time right here Friday nights. If you don't got a date, then Brunch with the Fellas is your spot. So don't be late. I'm Chef Herb Pearl at DBCHEFTV.
And I'm Cold Seasons.
And we'll see y'all next time. Peace, cuz.
Peace.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Post your DB Chef TV merch to your social media and enter to win $1,000 cash. That's right, $1,000 cash. Must be 18 years old or with parental consent. See contest rules for full details. Visit the DB Chef TV gift shop and post your merch to win. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigar Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. You are the key to your financial freedom. So unlock your inner wealth with financial fundamentals at Bows on the Table. Subscribe today and never miss a meal at Bows Podcast. Bows on the Table, now streaming on YouTube. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.